Yo, you know one thing that really pisses me off about living in Jamaica, and this is also something I cannot get used to, is the begging culture. I swear to God, it's the most pathetic shit I've ever seen. When I tell you, almost everybody begs out here, even the people with money beg.
Good afternoon. I'm coming to you from the National Board of Unnecessary Begging in a Farin, and these are some things that we don't like.
As a person who was born and raised in Jamaica, begging culture has always been a thing. And if you really come from Jamaica like that, you're gonna know so there's no system in place to really help poor people. Other than me know about food for the poor, me don't know about nothing. Yes, maybe for them local research, but I'm telling you right now, bro, there's no system in place, so you have to beg.
Hello guys, how are you doing today? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Amy. So I was scrolling through TikTok recently and I kept coming across these videos where people talk about Jamaicans themselves, Jamaicans in the diaspora, and even some foreigners were talking about something they call Jamaican begging culture. Now, me personally, I've never really thought about it or even heard of it before, but apparently it's a conversation that's been going on for a while. And some people say it's just part of the culture, others say it can be a little too much, and then there are those who just find it really funny. So today I thought, why not? Let's talk about it together. Let's try to understand what people mean when they say Jamaican begging culture and see if there's more to it than just jokes. So let's check out these clips, then I'll be back and we can talk about it.
What's up with the begging culture in Jamaica? This is something I've actually wanted to talk about, but since people are always vexed about something, I wanted to be sure that I articulated correctly before I got on TikTok talking about it. And this is not directed to all Jamaicans. This is directed to some Jamaicans. So let's just be clear before we get into this. So I've experienced this. A few people that I've talked to have experienced this. And actually Jamaicans themselves have told me about their experience with the begging culture. So begging, and it'll be like the smallest thing. Hey, I beg you $200. I beg you $300. I beg you $1,000. And our thing is like, why do you guys feel so comfortable begging, especially women, when you beg women for money? Hey, I beg you $100, beg you $200, beg you 500,000, whatever. My thing is I've heard that you guys assume that Americans have all this money just because we're from America. That is very, very false. I'm gonna let you know something about Americans. A lot of Americans be broke, number one. Number two, a lot of Americans, when they go to Jamaica and visit Jamaica, a lot of them have been saving up money 6 months to a year to even be able to afford to come. Three, sometimes it's income tax season. So they're using their income taxes to flex and boost and boast on their vacations. In America, we have to work our asses off just to make rent, just to make bills. So just because someone is from America, that does not mean that they have all of this money. And money does not grow on trees in America.
While I do believe that Jamaica has a begging culture, I will say this. If the people who are actually begging you did take care of you, you should not complain. Literally. I had a guy in my workplace who was saying that his mom asked him for too much money. And I'm like, how long you live with your mom for? 19 years. Bro, what? Your mom is begging you too much for money, bro. I get that. A lot of people might disagree. But trust me, a lot of you guys will come here and literally forget the people who actually took care of you. Let's not get that straight. It's not only begging culture. Some of you guys are ungrateful. You come to America, you left your whole family back home, no matter if it's from Jamaica, any other country, and you refuse to send nothing back because you think it's too much work or it's too much thing. I told my mom, to be honest, sending a barrel back home is too much work. So I'm just going to give you money, and I will give her money one time. And the way how I love my mom, she's okay with that. She's like, that's fine. When you could send it, you send it. When my grandma sent in barrel, I put shit in and send it. To do it myself, too much work. But I know that I still send her money on an annual basis. A lot of you guys come out here and be like, oh, begging culture too much. Bro, you came from a family that treats you good. And all of a sudden you can't get on the money?
Listen carefully. Please do not take up the phone on a Friday morning and call about it's on a birthday and I want a money to keep on a birthday or beat some juice. Don't do it. Please do not call and tell us you don't see no wig over plaza and an eyelash. We don't want a money figure buy because we don't have one big dance to go on a back road. Not do it a year because sometimes we have to wrap up with head and gone because nobody don't see we in a foreign, you know. Gone are the days when you hear one little man says, psst, hey baby, that not keep up here. You understand? And we could all have one light bill over there, so, and one water bill around there, so wait for we pay. Uno take up phone now, come call, ask all kind of foolishness. And this is the next thing again. You see, when you go up on the Amazon website, stop sending me the link, them and send me over Amazon because it's not paper and water we use to check out. You understand? One of this I have to say again. Alright. And listen. You see, anytime when I go call and beg anything, please check the time of the calendar. If it's any time in the last part of the month to the first part of any month, all our 40-11 bills them due, and we have to put them first because me and Uno know so no down there talk the things them bowy and we can't afford for them put we out of where we at.
People that work jobs, I don't understand that shit. I'm too much of a prideful person to ask anybody for anything. When I first came here, I was broke as fuck. I lied to you not. One time I bought a small can of mackerel and 1 pound of rice. I made that shit stretch me 2 days. And I had somebody I could ask for money. I had somebody I could like get money from, but true I'm prideful. I said, you know what? I'm not even gonna ask this person. In my opinion, if you're begging somebody like your mother, your father, sister, cousin, that's different. That's family. You have all right to beg because, you know, they're supposed to help you. There's nothing wrong with that. But when I say complete strangers in fucking Jamaica, complete strangers just walk up to you and beg like they're homeless, it makes no sense. I was just standing in what you call it, the gas station up there, and then this woman, she walked up to me. She was like, hey sir, may I beg you 2 bills? So I said, oh, I don't got it right now. Alright, just give me a bills, help me make up something. I think she was buying like tampons or something. She was like, hey, just give me a bills to help me make up. I said, I don't have it. She said, you don't have a bills? I looked at her and said, you don't have a bills? What you mean? Like, yo, when I tell you I was this close to smack.
Okay, so that's some of the videos I found, and honestly it's pretty interesting. And people are describing this habit where Jamaicans, especially back home in Jamaica, will ask friends, relatives, or even visitors for a little thing. And most times it's money, because when they ask for a small favor, it all equals to money. Now, those in the diaspora often say they notice it even more often when they go back home because it feels like there's always an expectation to send a thing or bring gifts when they visit. Some even admit that they don't always pick up phones or calls from family or even friends back in Jamaica because they feel like the moment they answer, it's going to turn into a request for money. On the flip side, a lot of Jamaicans at home don't see it as anything negative, and if not all, most, and they see it as normal, part of the community spirit where people look out for each other and ask when they need help. And of course, there's always humor mixed in. Jamaicans love to laugh about themselves, so you'll hear jokes like, "Them will beg you for your last party and then ask for the drink too." But even in the jokes, you can tell it's something people are very aware of. And for me, I think what's important is understanding that this is a conversation Jamaicans are having amongst themselves. And it's not about labeling or judging. It's about looking at why people say it exists and what it really means in the context of culture and daily life. So back to you. What do you think about this conversation? Have you heard of this idea of Jamaican begging culture before? Do you think it's really a thing, or is it just people exaggerating? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more trending stories just like this one. Thank you so much for sticking around. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Stay blessed.